Welcome back, mathematicians. Today we're dealing with substitution, and this is found on page 89 of your textbook. In mathematics, substitution means replacing a variable in an expression with a specific number and hence being able to calculate the value of the expression. What I suggest you do is you go and learn this. Remember, you copy the pattern. So the first step is to copy the pattern and replace the variable with a bracket. You're then going to substitute the specific number, which is the value of the variable. You're going to put it inside each of the brackets. And then you're going to use rules of integers to simplify the expression or the expressions. Let's have a look at the worked examples. Right, the first one, x multiplied by y multiplied by z, could also have been written x, y, z. So the first step, we are going to replace each of the variables by a bracket. So that stands for x multiplied by y multiplied by z. It's of utmost importance that you remember to use brackets. Right, then we go and have a look. X's value is 2. So I'm going to put the value of 2 there. Y's value is -3. And z's value is 4. And again, the first thing we do is our sign. So I have an odd number of negatives, so my result will be negative. Then all I do is I multiply the integers together. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. 6 multiplied by 4 is 24. So when x equals 2, y equals -3, and z equals 4, the answer or the calculation is -24. The simplification. Let's look at the next one. First thing we're going to do is copy the pattern. So I will have 2x plus 2y plus 2z. X's value is 2. Here's my y bracket, which is -3, and z is 4. Remember, good idea to circle your terms. So I'm going to simplify that. I'm going to simplify that. And I'm going to simplify that. Right, so 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. A positive multiplied by a negative is negative. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. A positive multiplied by a positive is positive. 2 times 4 is 8. I like to say 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 minus 6 equals 6. So that is the value of that expression when x is 2, y is -3, and z is 4. Now we have different values for x, y, and z. No, we don't actually, but we have a different pattern here. So 4, I'm going to copy the pattern, and you see I'm using square brackets because I need a value for x, plus y, plus z, and I'm going to keep my original brackets. I go and substitute. X's value is 2. This is my y bracket, which is -3, and z is 4. I work from the inside out, so I will do 2. The brackets just fall away. A positive times a negative is -3. Positive multiplied by a positive is positive. 4, I simplify inside the brackets. So again, 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. And that means 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12. Let's look at the next example. X plus y multiplied by x plus z. This is a monomial, one term. Right, so I copy the pattern. Remember, I'm going to have the brackets that I had before going to make them into square brackets. Then I've got x plus y, square brackets, because those are the brackets I had previously, x plus z. Now I go and do the substitution. So x's value is 2, y's value is negative 3. X's value is 2, z's value is 4. Right, let's simplify. Work from the inside out so that these brackets will remain. 2 positive multiplied by negative is negative 3. 2 positive multiplied by positive remains positive. Now we simplify inside each bracket. 2 minus 3 will give me minus 1. 2 plus 4 is 6. I'm now multiplying these two factors together. A negative multiplied by a positive is negative. 1 multiplied by 6 is 6. Let's test your understanding. The first one, so we're going to copy the pattern. So we have A over 2 multiplied by B. A's value is 1, B's value is 0. So I will have 1 over 2 multiplied by 0 is 0. I have 0 underneath, so it is undefined. Remember, anything divided by 0 is undefined. Let's look at the next one. 3b, so the first thing I'm going to do is copy the pattern. So I have 3 multiplied by b over 2 multiplied by a. Oh dear. 3 multiplied by b over 2 multiplied by a minus 2. Now I do my substitution. A is at the bottom, so that's going to be 2. B is 0. 3 multiplied by 0 is 0. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 4 minus 2. So I will have 0. 4 minus 2 is 2. 0 out of 2 is 0. Let's look at the next example. Now I'm raising a power to a further power. I'm going to use square brackets for the brackets that I had. Right, negative 2 multiplied by a squared b, and that whole expression is cubed. Do you see I've replaced the variables by the brackets? Now I will go and substitute. A's value is 1, B's value is negative 2. Simplify from the inside out. So I have negative 2, 1 squared is 1 multiplied by negative 2. And the whole thing is cubed. Work from the inside out. A negative multiplied by a positive is negative. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. And I'm going to multiply that by negative 2. And then when I've got the answer, I'm going to cube the answer. So now I have a negative multiplied by a negative is positive. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. And I'm going to raise it to the power of 3. 4 cubed is 64. So that is the value of that expression when a equals 1 and b equals negative 2. Let's look at the next one. The values of a and b have changed. So let's have a look what happens here. Right, I'm going to copy the pattern. So that's going to be 3a multiplied by b squared minus 2ab squared minus 6ab squared. Right, a's value is negative 2, b's value is 1. So a's value is negative 2, b's value is 1. A's value is negative 2 and b's value is 1. I now have 3 terms. There's one term, here's the second term, and here's the third term. Now remember, the signs belong to the term that follows it. Right, so I'm going to simplify each one on its own, separately. Okay, so I have 3. I must first deal, remember, bed mass. So I'm dealing with the exponent part first. So I have negative 2. 1 to any power is 1. Here I have negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. 1 to any power is 1 minus 6 multiplied by negative 2. 1 to any power is 1. Right, let's simplify. I have an odd number of negatives, so the result in this term is negative 3 times 2 is 6 times 1 is 6. A negative multiplied by a negative is positive, or I have an even number of negatives, so my result is positive. 2 2s are 4 times 5 times 1 is 4. A negative multiplied by a negative is positive. 6 2s are 12, 12 1s are 12. Right. 4 plus 12 is 16. 16 minus 6 is 10. That is the result of that. I want you just to have a look at this expression here. What I could have done it this way. You will see all of these are like terms. So I could have said I'm subtracting or I'm simplifying addition and subtraction. So I write down the surname a b squared, and now I have 3 minus 2 is 1 minus 6 is negative 5. So I now have negative 5 ab squared. So then I could have gone negative 5, a is negative 2, b is 1, and I'm going to square it. So that would be negative 5 multiplied by negative 2. 1 to any power is 1. And now I multiply signs. A negative times a negative is positive, or an even number of negatives will give me positive. 5 2s are 10. 10 times 1 is 10, which equals 10. So either way, you still get the same result. Let's look at this one. Now we're going to include some fractions. Copy the pattern. So I'm going to have a squared plus b cubed. A's value is a half. B's value is negative 2. Remember to put your values inside of brackets. Right, when I square half, it means I'm going to square 1. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. Plus negative 2 cubed. A negative to an odd power is negative. 2 cubed is 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So now I have a quarter. A positive times a negative is negative. 8 over 1. Everything to fraction form. Now I'm subtracting fractions. Common denominator is 4. And I said 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. So that will be 1 minus 1 multiplied by 4 will give you 4. 8 times 4 will give you 32. 1 minus 32, or we say 32 minus 1 is 31, but I had the biggest number of negatives, so it's negative 31 over 4. And you can leave it as an improper fraction. That's all for today. I'd like you to go and complete exercise 6.8. Thank you.